Hi guys, welcome back to the new James Bond show with Krazy Kajeevie, with no fears, limits, or substitutes. The bad boy of James Bond is back, and I have got a very special little guest. It's not Bobo. Bobo was a one-show-only little dude. We have got the one, the only. You probably remember him from some of my Bond shows last year on my older channel, or probably 2 years ago. On the old channel, it is Mr. Ruggles, and Mr. Ruggles is back. Hey, Mr. Ruggles. He was sleeping on the chair, so I thought I'd just let him make his debut on the new James Bond show with Krazy Kajeevie. So, guys, what are we talking about today? Okay, as the title will suggest, and I'm going to go bang straight into this right after I do say this. Guys, see the like thumbs up there? Give it a like. If you've come into here from Messenger or Facebook and you can't drop a like on it, just go back into YouTube, new James Bond show with Krazy Kajeevie. Find this video here, give it a like, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to support it. Okay, guys, so Dr. No and Rami Malek. Now, many of us believed he was, thanks to my predictions, and my new nickname is Nostra Kajeevie. Yes, that is Nostradamus mixed with Krazy Kajeevie. I am Nostra Kajeevie after all my predictions that came right in no time to die. Now, I am going to come here and fight to the death without metal hands, but I'm going to fight to the death, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to prove to you, Rami Malek was playing Dr. No. And they have gone back and they've changed it. And I'm absolutely convinced. And I think I'm going to prove it to you guys right now. Okay, so we'll get right into this. First of all, and I'm going to get to some real full-on evidence in just a moment, but let's look at the early evidence. First of all, he was dressed just like Dr. No. Very similar jacket and hairstyle, right? Did he have the metal hands? No, he didn't. Did he have metal hands during filming and we never got to see them? Who knows? Probably not. Maybe not. But, second point. So he looks like Dr. No. Kind of sounded creepy like Dr. No. And the second point is he had an island lair just like Dr. No. Okay? Third point. This was a continuation of Spectre. We had Blofeld in prison. They knew they needed another Spectre villain to kind of anchor this film. And that's why I believe they went to Dr. No, who's such a famous classic Spectre villain. And that's what I believe they did. Also, if you look at the production design, even though there is really, this whole kind of Garden of Death look and feel about it, or how we would even imagine maybe the Garden of Death to look and feel from the You Only Live Twice novel that we've never got to see in film before. That was, again, a Spectre concept from You Only Live Twice, though, with Blofeld. But that also kind of links into Dr. No because he's Spectre as well. So I think they were trying to, show that this was a Spectre villain, trying to get a run for their money, having the rights to Spectre, considering Blofeld was stuck in a prison. Also, now here's where we get to some real hard evidence, okay? Rami Malek said in an interview, and some of you may have heard this before, but he actually said in an interview, yes, my favorite character is Dr. No, and then I'm paraphrasing him a bit, guys, but basically what he said was how he was really proud to be playing this iconic character. And Dr. No was mentioned within an earshot of that, playing this iconic character and how much he loved Dr. No. And then it was like, like he kind of acted like he wasn't allowed to talk about it. And then suddenly that footage literally disappeared. That footage disappeared off the internet. Like, I don't even think you can find it anymore. But it disappeared. And I believe whether it was CBC or NBC or whatever the station it was over there in America, that I believe they removed it. This is what I've heard, that they removed that from their website. Now, Why would they want that so removed? Now, we know what happened with Blofeld, Christoph Waltz. Oh, I'm not Blofeld, I'm Franz Oberhauser. And of course, he turned out to be Blofeld. And there wasn't that huge surprise. So I think they were probably trying to do that as well. More evidence for you. In the actual film, in No Time to Die, and this is not a spoiler, this is just how he's addressed by someone. Now, I believe it's in a friend told me this, and I believe it's in another language. But he's actually referred to by one of his goons. He's referred to as Doctor. Now, anyone who's seen the film, do you know of any time in English version film where he's referred to as Doctor or someone says Doctor when they're talking to him? I can't say. I haven't seen it, but you guys let me know. But he's actually referred to by a goon as Doctor. Why would that be? Wouldn't that fit in exactly with my theory that he's Dr. No? Okay, here's the biggest piece of evidence, and then I'm going to give you a theory of why I think they changed him from Dr. No to Safin. Biggest piece of evidence is, yesterday I watched back at a roundtable discussion with the No Time to Die crew, the No Time to Die cast. It was Larry Lunchbox, aka Lashana Lynch. So Larry was there, Leia Sado was there, Daniel Craig was there, Rami Malek was there. So all the gang were pretty much there. Okay? Suddenly, they all get relaxed. They're all relaxed and they're all kind of, talking and whatnot. And maybe Rami Malek let his guard down a little bit and thought he'd get a little bit too relaxed and a bit too cheeky. Suddenly Rami Malek says, oh, and remember guys, I've got to actually tell you this. This was after the film was shot. So this was after the film was shot. And he said, oh, I don't even know what is the name of my character. What is he now? And Daniel Craig just looks at him. He turns slightly to his right, looks at Rami Malek, as to say, like, shut up. He just looks at him like this. And then Rami goes, oh, yeah, Safin, isn't it? Safin? I think it's Safin. He didn't even know. He didn't even know his character's name. That was after filming. Now, here's more evidence for you. During the shoot of No Time to Die, we heard that Larry Lunchbox was playing Nomi, Leia was playing Madeline. We heard about David Denchik playing Valdo, the Russian. We heard about Billy Magnuson playing Ash. We heard all these character names come out. We never ever heard, during filming, we never heard the name Safin. Now, during the filming of Spectre, we never heard the name of Blofeld. It was always Oberhauser, right? So we never heard the name of Safin. If he was playing Safin, if Rami Malek was playing Safin, why didn't they tell us that from the start? Why wasn't his name mentioned from the start? And the reason it wasn't ever mentioned and mentioned during filming, it was right just, I believe, after filming, just when filming stopped, they came out with his name was Safin. Why would they do that? I'm telling you guys, he was Dr. No. And I'll tell you why they changed it. This is my theory. Okay. This is my theory. Now, I could be wrong, but we all know now, whether you love me or you hate me, you know you all love me. Give me a big kiss. Pucker up, people. Kiss the crazy man. So, here's why I reckon. Now, I promise you, not one of you have thought about this. I had not even thought about this until literally in the last hour. I have never discussed what I'm about to tell you now. I've never even discussed it with anyone. I've just come up with it. This is why I know none of you have come up with it, because I've never heard anyone talk about it. This is why I believe they changed it. They didn't want to blackface. Now, obviously Dr. No's part Asian, and he's not black, but you know what I'm saying, blackface. They wanted to avoid what Sean Connery did, and You Only Live Twice, because you've got little dickheads out there in this social media internet world who are calling, and look, there's one channel that I listened to the other day, and actually, you know what, I really like his channel, and I think he's not a James Bond channel, he's a film channel, but he has done some James Bond videos, and this young fella is actually highly intelligent. He really knows his stuff about cinema. I think he's only about 22 or 24, and the kid knows cinema. Like, he's really talented with how he talks about film, and he's a huge Bond fan. But unfortunately, with his young age, he's also brainwashed, and people, this far out, they're more like Z generation now. They're so brainwashed with lefty politics. And he accused Sean Connery also. He accused the Bond films of being racist because James Bond wore Asian makeup in You Only Live Twice. And I know that scene cops a lot of shit. I never give that scene shit. You know why? Because it's from the novel. That's what Bond does. He disguises himself. Sure, you got a 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" Sean Connery doing it, but big deal. The makeup and everything wasn't as good as it is today. So that's why I reckon they changed it. I think two main reasons, which is the one reason, two different points, I should say. They didn't want to look like they were doing a racist thing, right? They didn't want to look like they were black-facing or Asian-facing. And they wanted to avoid, in this politically correct age, they wanted then to avoid any way that people were going to relate it to black-facing, Asian-facing, and also to what happened in You Only Live Twice. Like, they wanted to not be associated with that scene, with that thing. And that's why I believe they changed him. But the thing is, Rami Malek, I mean, he's Egyptian, so I don't think it would have been a big deal. But would they were they going to try and say he was Asian or whatever? I mean, he does look a little bit, I don't know, a bit of a mix, not just Egyptian in the film, but I don't know. But that's my theory. I don't think they wanted to draw comparisons to that. But I also believe potentially maybe they just wanted to play. They really wanted to play with the fans, shit in our Wheaties once again, and not give us Dr. No. Maybe not give us Dr. No that we wanted. James Roberts from, I believe James ran the poll from James Bond Down Under. Hi, James. And he sent me this thing tonight. It was a poll. And it was, do you want Rami Malek to be Dr. No? And I believe from memory it was 60, I think it was 64%. I think 64% wanted him to be Dr. No. And then 36 didn't want him to be Dr. No. So most of the fans did want him to be Dr. No. I know, I certainly wanted him to be Dr. No. But I think they've kind of like, you know what, we're going to poop in your Wheaties. We're not going to give you your little suggestions or your ideas or whatever you're thinking. And maybe they just wanted to do a Ryan Johnson and subvert our expectations once again. What do you guys think? What do you think of my theory? Do you think, nah, crazy, that can't be right? Or do you think all the evidence stacks up? And when you look at it, and my good buddy Matty Muckle told me this tonight too, because he's seen the film twice now, and he said, you know what, having seen the film, Steve, it wouldn't have been any effort at all for them to change his character name. You know, it wouldn't have been any effort, just a slight edit or whatever. So there you go. It looks like it would have been pretty easy. So I believe he was Dr. No. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below. Please drop a like. Please subscribe to the channel and share on Facebook and share in Messenger and any other little social media thing you use that I probably don't. Share it around. Thanks, guys. Till next time, keep on bonding and say hi to Dr. No's mum for me. See you guys. You gonna come? You gonna come? No chance of getting you off there, is there? Oh, you're so cute. Right. See you guys. Sorry if I showed you my butt crack. Ba-da-da.